Welcome back. This channel exists because of your support. Subscribe, hit like, and share your thoughts in the comments. Now let's get into the story. My phone buzzed during Thursday morning's team meeting. Facebook notification. Olivia has posted an update. I glanced at the screen. Some husbands really think they're irreplaceable. The post had been live for 8 minutes. Already 15 likes and 4 comments. Kimberly, her sister. Preach. Rachel, her roommate. Some men need to hear this TBH. Danielle from her office. Girl, you deserve better than settling. Posted at 9:15 a.m. 8 minutes after she'd texted asking if I paid the water bill. Posted where 1,200 friends could see it. My coworkers. Our neighbors. Everyone. Last night we discussed household responsibilities. I'd mentioned handling all finances, bills, investments, and home maintenance while she planned our social calendar. She'd said I was being dismissive. I'd said I was being factual. We'd gone to bed without resolving it. I typed 4 words. Agreed. You're right. Put my phone on silent and returned to work. At lunch, I drove to SunTrust Bank on West Broad Street. I need to transfer $7,500 from joint savings to my personal checking, I told the teller. She checked the account. This is joint with your spouse. Both names have independent access rights. No authorization required. 20 minutes later, our joint savings dropped from $9,500 to $2,000. I drove to Pearson Ford. The 2022 Mustang GT I'd been watching for 6 months sat in the front row. Velocity Blue. 460 horsepower. The car I'd wanted since college. Beautiful machine, the salesman said. Test drive? I want to buy it today. An hour later, $42,000 sticker, $3,500 for my Accord trade-in, $7,500 down payment. Financed $31,000 through Navy Federal at 4.2%. Monthly payment, $550. I signed the papers. By 7:30 p.m., I was driving home in a Mustang that announced itself with a deep rumble. The steering felt tighter, more responsive. Like it knew exactly what it wanted and was waiting for me to let it. Olivia was at the living room window when I pulled into our Glen Allen driveway. I took my time getting out. Let Roger Caldwell, 3 houses down, notice. Let the whole neighborhood see. Olivia met me at the door. Whose car is that? Mine. What happened to the Accord? We're saving for the cruise. Actually, we're not. I walked past her into the house. I canceled it this afternoon. You what? Canceled the cruise. It was 11 weeks out, so got 80% back from Expedia. $2,100. Applied it to reduce the financing. She followed me to the kitchen, voice rising. You can't just cancel our anniversary cruise. I've been planning this for 6 months. I told everyone. I opened a Budweiser and took a long drink. You told everyone a lot of things today, including that some husbands think they're irreplaceable. Well, you're absolutely right. Turns out some anniversary cruises think they're irreplaceable too. Her face went pale. That post wasn't about you specifically. Posted at 9:15 a.m., 8 minutes after you texted me, right after our conversation last night, with your sister cheering in the comments. Definitely not about me. She crossed her arms. So your solution is buying a car without discussing it? That's mature. Mature. I set down the beer. Handling disagreements privately instead of posting passive-aggressive messages where 1,200 people can see them. That's mature. The car is registered in my name. Financed through my credit union. Money from our joint account that both of us have legal access to. Everything above board. Unlike some activities. We need to talk about this properly. We are talking. Unless you meant on Facebook where everyone can weigh in with emojis. I headed for the stairs. By the way, I'm thinking of posting pictures of the car tomorrow. You know how social media works. People love commenting. Friday morning, Olivia was already in the kitchen, dark circles under her eyes, scrolling her phone obsessively. People are asking about your comment, she said without looking up. What kind of questions? What you meant by agreed? You're right. Some think we're having problems. I poured coffee. Were they wrong? We weren't until you bought a sports car without discussing it. Funny. I thought our problems started when you publicly announced I'm replaceable. I grabbed my keys. The Mustang rumbled to life, echoing through the garage. At work, Amanda Sullivan saw the Mustang in the parking garage. Nice ride. Everything okay at home? Everything's fine. Just making some changes. By lunch, 3 others had asked about the car, including my boss Jennifer Boyd, who'd raised an eyebrow in the parking garage. I kept answers brief. Instead of eating at my desk, I drove to Richmond Car Spa in Carytown. Full treatment, I told the owner. Everything you've got. $350. Do it. While waiting, I walked to Need Supply Company. 20 minutes later, 2 fitted shirts, dark jeans, a leather jacket. Total, $1,110 on my personal credit card. Credit score 782, 15,000 limit, minimal balance. I could afford it. When I looked in the fitting room mirror wearing the jacket, I saw someone who owned a Mustang GT, not someone who apologized for wanting one. I picked up the Mustang from the detailing shop, paint gleaming, interior smelling like leather, and drove back slowly, taking routes where people might see me. At a red light, I took a selfie. Me in the driver's seat, Mustang interior visible. Posted to Instagram. New perspectives. Within 5 minutes, likes rolled in. Keith Lawson, my college roommate. Dude. Yes. Phil from the gym. That's what I'm talking about. But comments from Olivia's circle caught my attention. Stephanie Chun from yoga. Looking good. Is this your midlife crisis car? Emily Rogers. Very nice ride. Does she know? Jennifer from book club. Are you single? Asking for a friend. I didn't respond. Just let it collect reactions. That evening, I ran into Roger Caldwell, our neighbor, at Target. That your Mustang? Been hearing that engine since yesterday. Yeah, got it Thursday. Sweet ride. He paused. Everything good with you and Olivia? Just decided it was time to invest in myself. He nodded approvingly. Good for you. Life's too short to drive boring cars. When I got home, Olivia was at the kitchen table with her laptop and cruise brochures spread out. I'm trying to rebook for October. Similar pricing. Why would we rebook? It's our anniversary trip. We've been planning it. You've been planning it. I've been funding it. She looked up. We both wanted this trip. Did we? Or did you want it, and I wanted to make you happy? The distinction landed hard. She closed the laptop. I don't understand what's happening. Yesterday, we were normal. Today, you're acting like I'm your enemy. I showed her Instagram. 37 likes. Women commenting. Her face flushed reading them. You're posting pictures designed to get attention from other women. I posted a picture of myself in my car. If women find that attractive, that's not my fault. You know exactly what you're doing. You're absolutely right. Just like you knew exactly what you were doing when you posted that husbands are replaceable. Saturday morning, she was already at the kitchen table, laptop open, bank statements everywhere. We need to talk about money. The cruise, the car, the $1,100 on clothes. Over $9,000 in 3 days without consulting me. Money from our joint account that both of us have legal access to. For purchases in my name. Married couples discuss major purchases. Are we? Because I thought we were talking about how upset you are that I made decisions without your permission. I pulled up her Facebook post. This has been shared 14 times now. Your sister shared it. Your college roommate. My project manager's wife saw it through her book club. Her face went pale. I didn't think it would spread, but you thought about how to phrase it. About timing. About which friends would support you. You didn't think about how it would affect me. I was frustrated. You wanted attention. You got it. Congratulations. I stood at the window, looking at the Mustang. I bought a car that makes me happy. I'm getting attention from women. I'm making decisions based on what I want. Those are the consequences. That's not what I want, isn't it? Your actions say otherwise. Tears formed in her eyes. The moment when I usually softened. I don't want to be married to someone who solves problems by complaining about me on Facebook, I said calmly. You open this door. You don't get to control what walks through it. You're talking about divorce. I'm talking about reality. I drove for 3 hours that Saturday morning, taking back roads along the James River, past historic plantations, and through forests that were just starting to show their fall colors. The Mustang handled every curve perfectly, and for the first time in weeks, my mind felt clear. When I stopped at Maymont Park, one of Richmond's historic estates with formal gardens and hiking trails, I took another photo. Me at a scenic overlook with the James River visible in the background, the Mustang gleaming in the foreground. I posted it with the caption, Saturday morning, drives hit different. Within 2 hours, it had 82 likes and 15 comments. A mix of car enthusiasts asking about specs and women from Olivia's periphery making observations about my apparent happiness. One comment caught my attention more than the others. Owen Fletcher, Someone I recognized as Olivia's ex-boyfriend from college had commented, "Nice ride, man. Congrats on the upgrade." The word upgrade could mean the car, or it could mean something else entirely. I didn't respond. I just let it sit there. That afternoon, I drove to my gym, LA Fitness in Short Pump. I'd been a member for 3 years, going 3 times a week religiously while Olivia went to yoga classes in Carytown. We'd long ago stopped trying to work out together. Phil Martinez, one of the trainers, spotted me coming through the door and immediately noticed something different. "Man, what's going on with you?" he asked after I'd finished my warm-up. "You seem different." "Good different." "Just remembering who I was before I started asking permission for everything," I said. "Whatever you're doing, keep doing it. You look like you're actually enjoying life for the first time in months." Later that afternoon, after the gym, I decided to test just how far this new dynamic could go. I drove to the Starbucks on Patterson Avenue, the same location where Olivia had her standing Saturday afternoon coffee date. This time, though, I wasn't planning to sit in the parking lot. I parked the Mustang where it was visible from the window and went inside. Olivia was there with Kimberly, Rachel, and Danielle, sitting at their usual table in the corner. They all looked up when I walked in. The conversation stopped mid-sentence. "Nathan," Olivia said, her voice carefully controlled. "What are you doing here?" "Getting coffee," I said pleasantly. "Trying that pumpkin spice thing everyone talks about." I walked to the counter, ordered, and waited while the barista made my drink. I could feel their eyes on my back the entire time. Could feel the weight of their interrupted conversation about what exactly was happening with Olivia's husband and his new car and his new attitude. When my coffee was ready, I turned and gave them a small wave. "Have a good afternoon, ladies." Then I walked out, got in the Mustang, and drove away. My phone started buzzing before I'd even left the parking lot. "Olivia, that was incredibly rude." "Me, was it?" I said hello. "Olivia, you know what you're doing." "Me, you're absolutely right. I know exactly what I'm doing." I didn't respond to her next 3 texts. Instead, I drove home, parked the Mustang in the driveway, and went inside to wait for the confrontation I knew was coming. She arrived home 20 minutes later, her face flushed with anger and something that might have been embarrassment. "My friends think you've lost your mind," she said, dropping her purse on the kitchen counter. "Your friends probably think a lot of things. They think you're having some kind of breakdown. The car, the Instagram posts, showing up at our coffee date like that." "Like what? Like a person getting coffee?" "You were making a statement." "Was I? What statement was that?" She crossed her arms. "That you don't care what I think. That you're done with our marriage. That you're already looking for someone else." Interesting interpretation. Where'd you get that? From your friend's analysis? They're concerned about me. Are they concerned about you? Or are they concerned that their friend's husband just proved he's not as replaceable as she announced to 1,200 people on Facebook? She flinched. "When are you going to let that go? When are you going to understand what you actually did?" We stood there in the kitchen, the afternoon sun streaming through the window, highlighting the distance that had grown between us in less than a week. "When are you going to let that go?" she finally asked. "When are you going to understand what you actually did? And when are you going to delete it?" "I will. I need time to think about what to say when people ask why I deleted it." "You don't owe them an explanation. You owe me one." She looked away. "I know." Sunday morning, I woke early and posted another Instagram photo. This one was more deliberate. A shot of me leaning against the Mustang at Virginia Capitol Trail, one of Richmond's scenic bike and walking paths. I'd gone for a run that morning and stopped to take the picture afterward, wearing athletic clothes that actually fit properly. The caption read, "Some drives are about the destination. Some are about remembering who you are." Within 3 hours, the post had 95 likes and 22 comments. Stephanie Chun from yoga class sent a direct message. "Hey, I hope this isn't weird, but coffee sometime? Would love to catch up." Emily Rogers commented publicly, "Whoever lost you made a mistake." And Owen Fletcher liked the post and added, "Living your best life, brother." By evening, Olivia had compiled her own evidence. She was sitting at the kitchen table with her laptop when I got home from another drive, this one out to Pocahontas State Park. "I need to show you something," she said. She turned the laptop toward me. On the screen was a document listing every woman who'd commented on my Instagram posts, every like from someone female, every interaction that could be interpreted as flirtatious. "You're encouraging women to flirt with you," she said. I'm posting pictures of my life. What they choose to comment is their choice. Stephanie Chin asked you to coffee. She did. And what did you say? I haven't responded yet. Are you going to? I sat down across from her. Should I be surprised that women are interested? Your Facebook post told everyone I'm replaceable. Some women apparently disagree with that assessment. She stood up, pacing. Owen is commenting on your posts. I noticed. Owen, my ex-boyfriend. The one you told me broke up with you because he said you were too demanding. His comments have been complimentary. You're doing this to make me jealous. I'm doing this to show you what replaceable actually looks like in practice. I opened my phone and showed her my direct messages. 6 conversations with women, including Stephanie's coffee invitation and Emily's suggestion that we should hang out sometime. These are women from your social circle, your yoga class, your sister's real estate network. They see what you apparently didn't. Someone who has his life together. Olivia's voice cracked. So what? You're going to start dating other women? I'm married. But you've spent the last week making sure everyone knows you don't think that's worth much. Monday morning, I arrived at work to find my Mustang had become something of a legend in the parking garage. 3 people stopped me on the way to the elevator to ask about it. Amanda Sullivan caught up with me at the coffee machine. You look different, she said. More confident. Just stopped apologizing for wanting things. Whatever happened, it's working. Jennifer mentioned in the management meeting that your performance has been sharper lately. Jennifer Boyd was my boss, the senior director of our IT division. The fact that she'd noticed anything about my personal demeanor was surprising. That afternoon, I had a project meeting with Jennifer and 2 other team leads. After we finished discussing the new firewall implementation, Jennifer asked everyone else to leave and close the door. Nathan, I want to say something, and it might be overstepping, she began. But I've noticed a change in you over the past week. More decisive, more willing to advocate for your ideas. Whatever's going on in your personal life, it's translating to better professional presence. Thank you, I said, genuinely surprised. I don't know what prompted it, and it's none of my business. But don't lose it. This is the version of you that should be getting promoted. At lunch, I met Keith Lawson at Stella's, a Greek restaurant in Carytown. Keith had been my roommate at Virginia Tech and was now a software engineer at a startup in Scott's Addition. Saw the Instagram posts, he said after we ordered. What the hell is happening? I explained the Facebook post, the cruise cancellation, the Mustang, the escalating conflict with Olivia. Keith shook his head, grinning. About time, man. You've been walking on eggshells for years. I kept waiting for you to push back. You never said anything. What was I going to say? Hey, your wife treats you like a child and you just take it? That's not a conversation anyone wants to have. She's panicking now. Good. She should be. She overplayed her hand with that Facebook post, and now she's realizing you're serious about not putting up with it anymore. That evening, I stopped at Whole Foods for groceries and ran into Stephanie Chun in the produce section. She was wearing yoga pants and a tank top, her hair pulled back in a ponytail, looking exactly like someone who'd just finished a class in Carytown. Nathan, she said, smiling. I wasn't sure you saw my message. I saw it. And coffee sometime. I'm still married, Stephanie. She picked up an apple, examining it carefully. The way Olivia talks about you at yoga doesn't sound like she remembers that. What does that mean? Just that she complains. A lot. About how you don't appreciate what she does. How you're always working or at the gym. How you don't understand what she needs. Stephanie set the apple down and looked at me directly. Some of us have started wondering if you were actually the problem, or if maybe she just didn't know what she had. I didn't respond immediately. Stephanie's words confirmed what I'd suspected. Olivia's Facebook post wasn't an isolated incident. It was the public version of conversations she'd been having privately for months. Thanks for being honest, I finally said. The coffee invitation stands. Even if it's just as friends. You seem like someone who could use a friend right now. When I got home, Olivia was cooking dinner, something she only did when she was either very happy or very stressed. Given the circumstances, I knew which one this was. Stephanie Chin says hi, I said, setting the groceries on the counter. Olivia froze mid-stir. When did you see Stephanie? Whole Foods. Produce section. She mentioned something interesting. What? She said the way you talk about me at yoga, it doesn't sound like you remember you're married. The wooden spoon clattered against the pot. I never said that. She said you complain about me. Regularly. About how I don't appreciate you. How I don't understand what you need. That's just venting. Everyone vents about their spouse sometimes. To 1,200 people on Facebook? In yoga class? At book club? How many places have you been building this narrative that I'm a disappointing husband? She turned off the stove and faced me. You're twisting things. Am I? Because 4 women from your social circle have reached out to me in the last week. 4. What do you think you've been telling them about our marriage that made them think I might be interested? I never told anyone you were available. You told them I was replaceable. To some people, that's the same thing. We stood in the kitchen, the smell of whatever she'd been cooking filling the space between us. You've spent months building a narrative, I said quietly. You got your sister on board, your friends, your yoga class, your book club, everyone agreeing that I'm the problem. And then you made it public. Congratulations. People believed you. Now you're upset that some of them want to offer me something better. Tuesday morning, I posted my 4th Instagram photo. A professional-looking selfie in my office building's elevator, wearing the leather jacket from Need Supply, the Mustang visible in the parking garage behind me through the glass. Caption: Some Tuesdays hit different when you stop apologizing for who you are. Within 2 hours, it had 108 likes and 31 comments. The comments section had become a battlefield. Women commenting about confidence and independence. Some of Olivia's friends trying to sound casual while obviously fishing for information. Rachel and Gwen commented, "Everything okay, Nathan?" Kimberly sent me a direct message. "We should talk about what's happening with you and Liv." And Owen Fletcher commented again, "That's what I'm talking about. Living right." Olivia called me at work for the first time since this started. "Owen is commenting on all your posts. I've noticed. It's inappropriate. He's my ex. He's being supportive. Unlike some people. You need to block him. I don't need to do anything. He's allowed to comment on public posts. People are going to think things." "What kind of things?" "That we're having problems. That you're interested in other people." "We are having problems. As for other people, your Facebook post invited speculation about my replaceability. I'm just providing data points." She hung up without responding. That evening, when I got home, the house was unusually quiet. Olivia wasn't in the kitchen or the living room. I found her in our bedroom, sitting on the bed with her laptop. "I deleted the post," she said without looking up. I checked Facebook on my phone. The post was gone. After it was shared 14 times, commented on 56 times, and seen by thousands of people. "I'm trying to fix this." You can't unpost something. That's the point. Digital is permanent. I showed her the screenshots I'd saved. Every comment, every share, every reaction. You can delete it from Facebook, but you can't delete what it revealed. "You're being cruel. You've won this. Can we move on?" "Won what? This isn't a game. This is you learning what consequences feel like." I said I was sorry. "You said you were sorry it hurt my feelings." That's different from understanding why it was wrong. Wednesday morning began differently. Olivia hadn't slept. I could tell from the way she looked when I came downstairs. Exhausted. Stressed. The kind of tired that comes from spending all night thinking in circles. "What do you want from me?" she asked over coffee. "Really, I want you to understand what you did. Not just apologize, but actually understand." "I understand. I posted something hurtful. You publicly humiliated me for social validation. You got 56 comments agreeing that husbands like me are disappointing. You got shares that spread it to hundreds more people. You damaged my reputation at work, in our neighborhood, with our families." She was quiet for a moment. I was frustrated. "I didn't think about all that." "That's the problem. You didn't think about me. You thought about yourself and what would make you feel better." I left for work without waiting for her response. At lunch, Amanda suggested we walk to Browns Island to clear our heads. The park along the James River was only 15 minutes from the office. When we got there, she saw me standing near the railing, looking out at the Richmond skyline. "You look different," she said. "More centered. Let me take a photo." I didn't argue. She snapped a few shots with my phone, the skyline and river behind me. Professional looking. Contemplative. "Whatever you're going through," she said, handing back my phone, "you're handling it better than most people would." That afternoon, I got an unexpected call from Patricia Patterson, Olivia's mother. Patricia and I had always had a cordial relationship, but she'd made it clear over the years that her daughter could do no wrong. "Nathan, I owe you an apology," she said. I almost dropped my phone. "I'm sorry, what?" "I talked to Margaret from my book club. She showed me screenshots of the full comment thread from before Olivia deleted the post. I didn't realize how vicious some of those comments were. How they were talking about you. Oh, my daughter was wrong. Not just about the post, but about how she's been treating you. I can see that now. I appreciate that, Patricia. But what you're doing now, is it helping? Or are you just hurting her back? I'm showing her what I've been telling her. Actions have consequences. She sighed. Just don't lose yourself trying to teach her a lesson. You're a good man, Nathan. Don't become someone you're not proud of. After work, I sat in my car in the parking garage and drafted an Instagram post using the photo Amanda had taken at lunch. Me at Browns Island with the Richmond skyline in the background. The caption read, 6 days of living authentically. Some bridges burn. Some you choose not to cross. Both are valid decisions. I stared at the draft for 15 minutes. This post would be the point of no return. It would tell everyone in our social circle that our marriage was over. It would eliminate any chance of reconciliation. It would be the final piece of evidence that I'd moved on. I saved it as a draft and didn't post it. When I got home that evening, Olivia was waiting in the living room. The TV was off. Her phone was face down on the coffee table. She'd been preparing for this conversation. I sat down across from her and pulled out my phone, showing her the drafted post. I could post this, I said. It would get hundreds of likes. Dozens of comments. Your friends would see it. Your family. Everyone. She stared at the screen, her face going pale. Please don't. Why not? It's my authentic truth. Isn't that what social media is for? Because it would end us. And I don't want that. You were fine with posting something that humiliated me. I wasn't thinking clearly. I was wrong. Completely wrong. She looked at me with genuine vulnerability for the first time in a week. What do I have to do to fix this? You can't fix it. You can only decide what happens next. I'll do anything. Anything except have a conversation with me before posting about me online. Anything except treating me with respect in public and private. Anything except recognizing that I'm not someone you get to take for granted. That's not fair. Here's what happens now, I said. I keep the car. I keep the new confidence. I keep making my own decisions without asking permission. And us. We stay married under new terms, or we don't stay married. Your choice. I outline my terms clearly. No public complaints about our relationship, ever. Major decisions would be discussed, not demanded. I would maintain autonomy over my time, money, and interests. She would get input, not veto power. Respect in public and private, or the relationship would end. That's not how marriage works, she said. It's how this marriage works from now on. Or it doesn't work at all. You'd really divorce me over a Facebook post? I'd divorce you over what that post revealed about how you see me. The post was just the symptom. Thursday was quieter. We moved around each other carefully, like strangers sharing space. Olivia took a personal day from work. I maintained my normal routine. At the office, Amanda commented that I seemed at peace. Whatever you decided, you seemed comfortable with it. I am, I said. Either way. That evening, I took another long drive. This time, I went all the way out to Jamestown Settlement, the historic site where the first permanent English colony was established. 90-minute round trip. Time to think. Time to process. Time to prepare for whatever resolution was coming. When I got home around 8, Olivia was waiting. The house was unusually organized. Evidence that she'd spent the day thinking, cleaning, preparing. Friday morning, she initiated the conversation. I've been thinking about what you said, she began. We were sitting at the kitchen table with coffee, the morning sun streaming through the window. And, you're right. About all of it. She took a breath and continued. I was wrong to post that. I was wrong about how I've been treating you. I was wrong to use public pressure to get my way. I didn't realize how much damage I was doing. Not just with the post, but with everything. The way I talked about you to friends. The way I dismissed your contributions. The way I expected you to always accommodate me. I listened without responding, waiting to see if this was genuine or another tactic. I want to try, she said. I want to do better. Trying isn't enough. Either you respect me or you don't. There's no middle ground anymore. She nodded slowly. I understand. I accept your terms. No public relationship complaints. Therapy for me, couples counseling if we need it. You keep your autonomy. I get input, not control. And if you can't maintain that, then we separate. I understand. I thought about the drafted Instagram post still sitting in my phone. The nuclear option I prepared but not deployed. I'm not posting that last photo, I said. The one about bridges burning. I'm deleting it. Thank you. I'm not doing it for you. I'm doing it because I'm not interested in destroying you. I'm interested in being respected. We sat in silence for a moment. Not comfortable silence, but not hostile either. Uncertain. In transition. We'll try this for 90 days, I said finally. You demonstrate the changed behavior. I stay open to the possibility. At 90 days, we reevaluate. Either this works or it doesn't. And if it doesn't, then we separate, and neither of us will be surprised. That evening, I posted one final Instagram photo. The Mustang at sunset, parked at Belle Isle with the James River in the background and the Richmond skyline visible in the distance. Caption: some chapters end, some transform. Either way, you keep moving forward. I disabled comments on the post. This message wasn't for the women who'd been asking if I was available. It wasn't for Owen Fletcher or Olivia's friends or the dozens of people who'd been watching our marriage play out in social media posts. It was for Olivia, and for me. That night, we sat on the couch together, not touching, the space between us filled with uncertainty. She didn't know if I would stay. I didn't know if she could actually change. The outcome wasn't guaranteed either way, but I was comfortable with the ambiguity. For the first time in our marriage, I wasn't bending myself into shapes to keep her happy. I wasn't apologizing for wanting things. I wasn't asking permission to live my life. 3 months would tell us everything we needed to know. Either she meant what she said, or she didn't. Either way, I wasn't the same man who'd read that Facebook post 9 days ago, and I never would be again. Dear listeners, that's our ending. If it resonated, subscribe to support the channel. See you next time.